Her second start since joining Marco Botti. Debuted at Yarmouth last time, wearing the hood, which is retained. I thought she ran okay. She was backed as well.
Yeah, interesting. A winner at La Plata in Argentina. 0 from 4 in France, ridden by Olivier Pellier's daughter, Megan. But yeah, that's as you say. There was support for Nuble at
I'm
Yarmouth
sure you've got it right.
last time, but one's impression is that a bit more is needed from that.
Okay, and we will have a look at number 10 to conclude it. That is Dark Crocodile, who bids to get off the mark at the 17th attempt. A horse who admittedly has missed large chunks of time in the career.
Yeah, and I think that he's going to struggle to get his head in front today. This is his 6th start for Jeffrey Deacon, yet to make the frame in the first 5, including a defeat over 7 here at Kempton last time. Rated 78 at best, so obviously now is well treated off 47 if he can find the planets aligning here, but the recent evidence is that that's unlikely.
Well, the runners are ready, and the jockeys, as we talk, are coming out for the first race of 8 here at Kempton.
racing team.
So that's a look at them in the parade ring prior to our opener at Kempton. There's 12.35. Mile the trip and Pentimento the favourite at 2 to 1. Mr. Dibdap was 13 to 2. He remains a maiden, that horse. Oud Metherbridge 7 to 1. 70's our star. Nublaze 17 to 2 and 9 to 1. Liam's Lass. Sonatina is 12. 14's Bagatelle. Lucifer 22 to 1. Dark Crocodile 22 to 1. In Paradise 28. 2 to 1. Pentimento favourite for our first.
2 to 1 then is the price. About Pentimento to get off the mark, a horse who is 0 from 18 in the career so far. But as mentioned, it's that, well, the first opportunity, or an opportunity for a first winner for the new training partnership of John Best and Karen Jewell. Two of Kent's getting together there. And horse who was third over track and trip last time, a position behind He's Our Star from a wide draw, quietly ridden. That was no bad run. Form of the race hasn't necessarily been enhanced, but we've had horses run well from it. 2 to 1 about a horse who's yet to win and getting on for 20. Where do you stand on it?
I think you've got to want to have a bet, Nick. I'd put it that way. I think that, you know, we all, when we're dealing in the handicap system, we do like to see horses that win in their turn, don't we? And as you say, this horse is 0 from 18. 13 of those starts have been on the all-weather. I think that, as I said earlier, I think that he's knocking louder on the door these days, and I felt that whilst he was he was narrowly behind He's Our Star here last time, felt that the way that the race unfolded, that Pentimento had achieved more in that race, but and you know. I think he's the most likely winner here. I put him in the Daily Mirror yesterday in the selections box. I didn't think that this would be a 2 to 1, 13 to 2 bar race, okay. I must say. But
well, I thought that's interesting about the prices as well, because listen, I don't know exactly how much we're talking about with shifting prices in the first race, the first division of a handicap here at Kempton yesterday, but I did know a much bigger price across the board about Mr. Dibdap, a horse that we didn't talk about, 20s plus, who's now a 6 to 1 shot, who, a bit like our favourite, is a maiden after a fair amount of times, 15 runs, has been placed here over further in the past, but obviously has been supported.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're not dealing with a 2 to 1 favourite though, are we? So you can understand why there's been support for Mr. Dibdap. Yes, he's 0 from 13 on the surface, like the favourite. He's been more missed than hit, I think, throughout his career, but there was a decent third at Wolves a couple of starts ago. That was a notable bright spot. He didn't reproduce that last time at Dunstall Park, but you know, this is a 0 to 60 handicap where we're not dealing with frequent winners. If we were, they wouldn't be rated. They wouldn't be eligible for a 0 to 60, and so if you ignore that run last time, and there's no obvious reason that I can see as to why Mr. Dibdap underperformed, but if you take the Wolverhampton third the time before as your guiding light, then you can see why there'd be support from here.
Yeah, and you can go back. You don't have to go back exactly a year for winning form over this course and distance with Oud Metherbridge, who is actually £1 lower now than when winning most recently 11 months ago over course and distance.
Yeah, and there have been a couple of bright spots in the interim during a 9-race losing sequence subsequent to that. So yeah, Oud Metherbridge is a horse who's plied his trade at a higher level than this in handicaps, and it wouldn't be a massive surprise at all were he to run well here.
We've got a good day ahead, listed racing to come, big field and big money handicaps to come a little bit later as well. We'll introduce our commentator at sunny Kempton. Good afternoon, Mark Johnson.
They're off. Oud Metherbridge just a little slow coming out of the stalls. So too was Sonatina. As they go through the very early stages on the inside, it is Dark Crocodile who has claimed the early lead. And then in second is Liam's Lass towards the outside. Bagatelle racing in third as they go inside the final 6 furlongs. And the leader up against the inside rail is Dark Crocodile, taken on now by Liam's Lass on the outside in second. Bagatelle is racing in third. Then towards the inside rail, Nuble is in fourth position. In Paradise, just in fifth, racing then towards the outside of Mr. Dibdab as they go into the turn. He's Our Star is next. Then there's a break of a length and a half to Pentimento. Sonatina has passed at least one of them. Lucifer has dropped now towards the rear of the field, and Oudmether Bridge is still the back marker, and they have 3.5 furlongs to go. Dark Crocodile's lead is only a neck over Liam's Lass, who makes the turn in second. Nuble still races in third. Bagatelle fourth into the home straight. To the inside, Mr. Dibdab may go the cutaway route towards the wide outside. In Paradise is already being driven along. Pentimento and He's Our Star are two who do go towards the cutaway, followed by Lucifer into the race. Sonatina trying to pick up down the wide outside. It's Bagatelle with a furlong to go who's now got the lead over He's Our Star in second. Nuble is in third. Lucifer has stayed on into fourth, but it's Bagatelle and Danny Muscat going clear. Well back just before the off. It is the filly Bagatelle who wins. He's Our Star in second. Nuble got third. Tight 4 between Lucifer and on the outside Sonatina.
Well, in truth, she's absolutely bolted up, has Bagatelle. Lightly raced filly prior to this, a 5-race maiden prior to this. Well, at the 6th attempt, she snapped that maiden tag and snapped it handsomely as well, dropping in trip from 10 furlongs last time. Set up in the race from Dark Crocodile, taking them along. Everything seemed to suit because she's absolutely bolted up.
Yeah, she has, hasn't she? She's really turned what looked a tight enough 0 to 60 into a procession here. Mark mentioned that there was late support for Bagatelle.
She was a big price yesterday.
Yeah. She was, I mean, well, the second start over course and distance, the latter of those runs at 3, would possibly give you some encouragement, but I think it's been pretty scant in 2021, to be truthful, Nick. But look at the way that she darts clear here, coming back from 10 furlongs at Lingfield last time. Perhaps that was the reason that she was hanging that day. She hung over further at Windsor the time before. She seems to have run, I thought, pretty straight here, and it's likely that the step back to a mile has found the key here. She was lightly raced coming into this. I made the point beforehand that she dropped to Plating Company last time at Lingfield, and that didn't work. I thought she was up against it here, but the market late on disagreed, and it's been proved right.
Well, she's come off a few months off. Maybe everything's just aligned for her. Dark Crocodile taking them along in the early stages. Liam's Lass not too far away. Another consistent run from one who was further back, who picked up late pieces and effectively headed the closing bunch, because that's as much as it was really for He's Our Star, who has added yet another placed effort on this surface to the name, but the winless run on the all-weather now 19.
Yes, and He's Our Star and Pentimento, the horses
seems to do much wrong, does he often? I know we've...
No, absolutely. Well, we'll look at the closing stages. You wouldn't...